I don't like to speak ill of the dead. That's just not something that I do, but let's get into it. I guess Merrick Garland was just confirmed. He's the next Attorney General for Joe Biden. That's awesome. That's awesome to see Joe Biden is getting people in there, need to be in there. I actually agree with Merrick Garland on quite a few issues. He's talked about racism in law enforcement. And he's talked about some other things I agree with as well, as far as racism in society. I saw the video of him walking in and shaking hands. I thought about the fact he was Obama's pick for the Supreme Court. Obama came to RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, spoke with her. You know, he wanted her to possibly step down. He put in Merrick Garland, put in some new people. RBG said no. And she wound up fucking dying in the office. She was sick then. I think she'd already had some surgeries and wound up dying in office. And because of her death, Trump was able to put in a second Supreme Court justice. People need to understand we're in a war. We're in a social war. We're in a war for the very future of America. Republican Party is going to continue to play dirty, low-down tricks. They have no reason not to. I do think Trump put a whole lot of judges in. He wasn't just Supreme Court, but I thought about the fact that this guy should have been in there, Supreme Court. You know, because we're going to get another Trump eventually. It's a matter of time. Ain't over with. Ain't done with. Trump just lost this one. That's all he did. Trump lost this one, but the fuel and the fire is still there. All the fuel that lit the fire and kept the fire of Trump burning. The Christian evangelicals, the racists, the bigots. Those people are still out here. And they're more powerful than ever because in a war, people have ideas that maybe they're not able to try out till the battle starts, till the war starts. These armed militias, the violence, they've got to try that. And some of them liked it. And there's an ideology that's been put forward due to that. That ain't going away. The ideology of we'll just take it. We'll just, what they say in the Capitol, it's our house. It's been put forward. There's a lot of stuff before Trump people wouldn't even have thought of what happened that have happened. So I don't want to beat up on anybody that's passed on. I don't want to disrespect anybody that's passed on, but she should have fucking got out the way. She should have known that, hey, I am mentally incapable of staying in here. And this is another idea of that old-timey thinking of, I'll just stay in here as long as I can, and you're 100 years old and you're going to stay in. Yeah, you probably can stay in. That's fine. But you should, come on, man. Come on. You got to be smart. You got to understand when your time has come to an end and it's time to step aside. There's no embarrassment. There's no shame in doing so. The shame is in you dying in office. I know people die all the time. You know, no one knows the time or date. But when you're that old and you've already had a bunch of cancer diagnoses, and you've had invasive surgery, and come on, lady. She should have got out the way. She should have known. She should have, that's as an adult, that she wasn't fit to serve. And That's just what came to my mind watching that. I'm not like most Americans who can just forget about what happened 6 minutes ago and who can just be like, okay, things are nice now. No, I know Republicans can do stuff to hold up confirmations, and I'm not saying that even if she had stepped down, he would have gotten in there immediately. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that that would have been a better decision. And she could have still done things. She could have still been out here and been speaking, and people would have listened. She could have still been out here giving her opinion on stuff. That'd have been people would have listened. I would have listened. But she should have known she was not medically fit, and that there were more capable people who could have took her place. You are not you're not serving yourself in the office of Supreme Court. You're serving the law. You're serving the people, and you're representing the people. I like to believe that. What Supreme Court justices do. They don't just take people's livelihoods away. They don't just deal with people. They deal with the economies of nations. Supreme Court can do something today that can affect steel workers in Germany, steel workers in Europe, car manufacturers in Japan. That's an immense responsibility. And I really wish RBG had recognized she was not fit to serve. And even if she hadn't have died under Trump, because no one knew Trump would be that bad. Even if she'd been in there till another leftist person got in there, it's still, it goes back to that era of the 80s and the 70s, the Bobby Kennedys, the Tip O'Neill, I guess this idea that people can step, across the aisle. We're beyond that. We're beyond that. Partially we're beyond that because climate change means we don't have time for that. I don't have time to explain to some fucking bumpkin climate change science that we learned about 10, 15 years ago. That's part of it. And so they feel like society's pushing them out the way when it's simply the fact that you're behind the times. And one thing about these rednecks I've learned, they want to be behind the times. You have the right to be behind it. You have the right to think that way. But you also have to recognize society, people ain't that stupid. We don't have time to sit here and bicker about is climate change real in 2021. They're losing demographics. They're pushing policies that a lot of Americans don't want. This stimulus deal that people wanted. We're in a war. We're not, this is not the time to just, I'm 120 years old and let's see how long I can stay in the office of Supreme Court Justice. No. Like John Glenn, like John Glenn getting on the spacecraft. That's cute. That's beautiful. But he wasn't by himself. He didn't go out there by himself. This is not that era. This is not the era to sit and laugh and joke. This is the era of recognizing America's got a problem. We're at war. And some serious questions have to be asked about the very fabric of our society and where we want to go next. Thank you for listening.